Have you ever looked at an old spoon, a chipped teacup, or a forgotten baking mold and thought, what if this could bloom again? Welcome to a world where rusted graters, cracked plates, and mismatched mugs are no longer waste but wonder. In this series, we're going to reveal how ordinary, forgotten kitchen tools can be transformed into extraordinary garden borders. Not just practical, not just pretty, these borders are living stories where memory meets creativity in the soil. Each idea is a bold step towards sustainability, but also a tribute to things once cherished. Imagine serving flowers from the same plates that once served dinner, or watching vines curl through a fence of forks once used to feed your family. Intrigued? You'll see flower beds framed with rainbows of spoons, vibrant tins, vintage bakeware, teapots, and even broken ceramics. Each project more imaginative than the last. And as we walk you through each one, you'll start seeing your own kitchen scraps with new eyes. These aren't just gardening tips. They're creative sparks, emotional nods to the things we use and love, then toss away. So don't throw it out, reinvent it, because in this garden, everything gets a second bloom. Stay with us. What you're about to see will change the way you look at waste and beauty forever. One, kitchen spoon garden border. Creating a unique garden border doesn't require expensive materials, just creativity and a touch of color. In this cheerful and imaginative garden setup, discarded plastic kitchen spoons have been repurposed into a vibrant, eye-catching border. Arranged in a rainbow sequence, the spoons are partially buried into the soil, forming a playful yet defined edge for the flower bed. This not only adds charm but also serves a practical purpose, keeping the soil and mulch neatly separated from the lawn. The garden itself bursts with vivid dahlia blooms in hues of yellow, pink, and crimson, complementing the rainbow palette of the spoon border. The juxtaposition of synthetic color with the natural brilliance of flowers creates a whimsical and inviting atmosphere, perfect for any backyard retreat. As the sunlight filters through in the late afternoon, the plastic spoons gleam, enhancing the joyful mood of the space. This DIY project proves that sustainability and beauty can go hand in hand. By reusing colorful kitchen spoons, perhaps once destined for the trash, one can create an eco-friendly and budget-conscious garden feature. The technique is simple. Clean the spoons, push them handle down into the soil at regular intervals, and follow a color pattern for visual harmony. Not only does this border provide structure to the garden bed, but it also becomes a conversation starter, perfect for those who appreciate both gardening and innovative reuse. Whether for a children's garden, a community space, or a personal sanctuary, this approach transforms everyday kitchen waste into delightful outdoor decor. 2. Tower of Kitchen Bloom. Transforming everyday kitchenware into artistic garden elements brings a charming, sustainable flair to outdoor spaces. This creative floral display showcases a stunning arrangement of used metal and plastic basins, repurposed into striking plant containers. Carefully stacked in a pyramid-like structure, these bowls and wash basins serve not only as planters but also as a sculptural garden centerpiece. Between layers, inverted basins and cooking lids are cleverly inserted to create height, support, and an aesthetic rhythm. Each container overflows with brilliant magenta celosia blooms, whose upright plumes contrast beautifully with the metallic and plastic textures of the kitchenware. The vibrant color of the flowers injects life and energy into the structure, while the utilitarian materials ground the design in simplicity and rustic charm. This is not just a garden border, it's a floral monument built from the forgotten and the reused. The concept is simple yet impactful. Gather old, unused pots, basins, and cooking lids, stack them securely with attention to balance, and fill the top containers with soil and flowering plants. The result is a vertical garden installation that maximizes visual interest and growing space, perfect for small yards or statement corners. This DIY approach encourages sustainable gardening by breathing new life into discarded household items. It also allows for flexible customization. The structure can be expanded, reshaped, or relocated according to seasonal needs or aesthetic preferences. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or a DIY beginner, this inventive technique offers a fresh way to blend greenery with everyday practicality. It stands as a testament to how beauty and purpose can be achieved without buying new materials. Just a little imagination and the will to reuse. Three, Teapot and Pan Border. A winding garden path is beautifully lined with a unique and eco-conscious creation. A DIY border made entirely from old kitchen teapots and pans. This whimsical and charming arrangement gives discarded cookware a second life as vibrant plant containers, filled to the brim with cheerful pansies in purple, yellow, and white. Their bright blossoms contrast delightfully against the metallic sheen of the teapots and the earthy tones of the cooking pots, resulting in a path that feels both rustic and imaginative. Each piece of cookware has been transformed into a planter by simply adding soil and flower seedlings. The teapots, with their graceful spouts and wooden handles, act as focal points among the border, evoking nostalgia while providing practical function. The pans form a steady base, arranged neatly side by side along the edge of the walkway, creating a structured yet playful guide for the eye and the feet. This approach demonstrates that elegance in the garden doesn't require expensive materials, just a bit of resourcefulness. By repurposing what might otherwise be kitchen clutter or waste, this garden border not only celebrates sustainability but also injects a strong dose of personality into the landscape. The layout curves gently with the path, leading visitors through a colorful journey that invites admiration and conversation. It's a celebration of everyday objects, reimagined with creativity and care. This method is especially accessible for beginner gardeners or DIY enthusiasts, offering a low-cost, high-impact design. More than decoration, it tells a story of transformation, of how ordinary items, once forgotten in a cupboard, can flourish again as part of a blooming garden narrative. Four, Teacup Circle Flower Border. Creative gardening meets timeless charm in this stunning DIY garden border crafted from repurposed teacups. Forming a perfect circle around a vibrant flower bed, mismatched ceramic cups, mainly adorned with blue floral patterns, are embedded side by side into the soil, creating a low yet striking barrier. The effect is whimsical and nostalgic, transforming what might be chipped, forgotten china into a piece of art with purpose. The garden bed enclosed within this teacup border overflows with lush marigolds and petunias, their fiery orange and magenta blooms radiating warmth in the golden light of sunset. The contrast between the vivid flowers and the classic porcelain design gives the border a unique fusion of elegance and playfulness. Despite some cracks and missing handles, The cups retain their dignity and add to the vintage character of the display. This garden edging is not only beautiful but a clever use of broken or single-piece dishware that no longer serves on the table. It's an accessible DIY project. Simply dig a shallow trench along the desired border line, place the cups bottom down and tilted outward, then secure them tightly with soil or mortar. Layering them in 2 rows adds height and reinforces the visual rhythm of the edge. More than decoration, this border tells a story of upcycling and sentimentality. Perhaps these cups once served countless family teas. Now they serve a blooming community of flowers. Ideal for cottage gardens, themed areas, or floral centerpieces. This method turns old kitchenware into enduring outdoor decor. It proves that even broken things can find new beauty, especially when given space to grow alongside nature. Five, silver spoon flower border. Elegance meets ingenuity in this heart-shaped garden bed outlined with rows of repurposed silver spoons. Polished and uniformly arranged, the spoons are embedded vertically into the soil, creating a sleek metallic border that both contains and enhances the vivid floral display within. Each spoon reflects light like tiny mirrors, adding a subtle shimmer to the surrounding greenery and drawing the eye toward the blooming centerpiece. The flowers within the border, bright geraniums in shades of red, pink, and blush, burst with life against the silver-toned edge. The design cleverly marries hard and soft textures. The solid utility of stainless steel cutlery with the delicate beauty of garden blossoms. What once served a role at the dining table now serves in a new, unexpected way, as an artistic statement in the landscape. Crafting a border like this requires nothing more than a collection of old or mismatched spoons and a bit of patience. Pressing each spoon into the ground handle first at consistent intervals ensures stability and visual symmetry. The shape of the garden bed, whether heart-shaped like this or any other design, can be customized to suit personal style or garden layout. This DIY project is a celebration of sustainable creativity. Rather than throwing away surplus utensils, transforming them into outdoor decor adds charm and reduces waste. The mirror-like finish of the spoons remains weather-resistant, making them a practical and long-lasting material for garden use. Whether used for edging flower beds, herb gardens, or thematic corners, this silver spoon border demonstrates how the simplest items can create captivating results. It's a whimsical, eco-friendly addition that speaks to the gardener's vision and love for detail, proving that beauty truly lies in reimagination. 6. Basket weave garden border. A striking fusion of form and function, this elegant garden border design mimics the charm of woven kitchen baskets, reimagined as sculptural planting beds. Shaped into a fluid, figure-8 configuration, the structure uses repurposed wicker and rattan basket materials, once used to store bread, fruits, or utensils, and transforms them into raised edging that blends seamlessly with the natural surroundings. The soft, earthy tone of the woven borders contrasts beautifully with the vivid bursts of purple and white petunias that fill the beds. At the center, a taller circular section draws the eye upward, creating a tiered effect that offers visual depth and balance. This multi-level design not only elevates the aesthetics but also improves planting organization, making care and access easier for each floral zone. By using deconstructed and reshaped kitchen baskets, the project highlights the possibilities of reusing household items in garden landscaping. The weaving technique provides strength and flexibility, allowing the border to curve smoothly and holds soil securely while letting water drain naturally. It's a perfect option for creating elegant shapes with rustic appeal. To replicate this project, gather old baskets or similar materials like cane trays, slice or unweave them carefully, and fasten them around a metal or wooden frame. Secure the structure in place with stakes and fill with soil and flowers of choice. The result is a raised garden border that is sturdy, stylish, and full of personality, ideal for cottage gardens, artistic landscapes, or eco-conscious yards. This DIY creation proves that repurposed kitchenware, when guided by creativity, can be transformed into living masterpieces. It's a testament to the idea that sustainable gardening is not only practical, but also a beautiful way to tell stories through space and shape. Seven, mug wall garden border. A circle of repurposed ceramic mugs forms an enchanting and sustainable garden border, proving that even the most ordinary kitchenware can be turned into a delightful landscape feature. Arranged upside down in tight, uniform rows, these pastel pink and ivory mugs, some with charming floral prints, others slightly chipped, surround a vibrant bloom of red and purple salvia flowers. Their glossy surfaces and curved shapes add texture and visual rhythm to the edge of the garden bed. The layered construction, achieved by stacking 2 rows of mugs, creates a low wall effect that securely frames the flower bed. The hollow bottoms face upward, catching raindrops and reflecting sunlight in playful ways. More than a decorative twist, this setup is surprisingly practical. The weight of the ceramic provides stability, while the rounded forms prevent soil erosion and encroachments from grass. Building this border is an exercise in simplicity and creativity. Start by collecting old or unmatched coffee mugs. Perfect candidates are those no longer used due to minor cracks or stains. Dig a shallow trench around your flower bed. Nestle the mugs handle out or handle down into the soil, and compact them with sand or earth for added stability. Stacking a second row gives the structure added height and charm. This project is a celebration of resourcefulness. What once served morning coffee now encircles blooming beauty, turning waste into wonder. It's an ideal DIY idea for those who enjoy upcycling, cherish vintage kitchenware, or want to add a playful, homey touch to their garden. The result is a personal, eco-friendly flower frame that brings stories, color, and whimsy into the outdoors, all with a cup and a little imagination. 8. Grater edge garden border. A bold and inventive twist on garden design. This border turns rusted metal cheese graters into a rustic, industrial-style edging. Once destined for the kitchen and later the discard pile, these box and flat graters now stand upright, forming a strong and visually textured perimeter around a vibrant bed of portulaca flowers. Their aged patina contrasts beautifully with the bright pink and orange blooms, creating an eye-catching fusion of utilitarian grit and natural beauty. The graters are planted firmly into the soil side by side, handles facing outward or upward for added character. This setup provides not only a clear boundary for the garden bed, but also a sturdy wall that withstands weather and prevents soil spillage onto paved surfaces. The rough, perforated surfaces of the graters add dimension and shadow, casting intricate patterns as sunlight moves across the day. This DIY approach is a celebration of reuse and resourcefulness. Old, dull graters no longer suitable for the kitchen find new life outdoors. The technique is straightforward. Gather various metal graters, clean off any debris or sharp rust, and press them into the ground along the edge of the flower bed. Larger box graters can serve as anchor pieces at corners, while flat graters fill the spaces in between. Perfect for creative gardeners who enjoy unconventional materials, this border transforms forgotten tools into an artistic statement. It's a brilliant example of how functional design can be stylish, sustainable, and deeply personal. Each grater tells a story of past meals and now frames a new narrative of growth, color, and ingenuity in the garden. This is upcycling at its boldest and most beautiful. Nine. Baking molds garden border. Shimmering in the sunlight, a dazzling garden border made from repurposed baking molds surrounds a bed of vibrant pansies in hues of yellow and deep violet. These once utilitarian aluminum molds, used for cupcakes, puddings, and gelatin, now find new life as a creative and eco-friendly edging solution. Carefully arranged upside down and placed tightly side by side, the molds form a metallic ribbon that curves smoothly around the flower bed, reflecting light and adding a touch of culinary nostalgia to the garden. The molded ridges and shiny surfaces bring texture and structure, while their consistent shape ensures a clean, organized aesthetic. This clever DIY project demonstrates that even lightweight, once disposable kitchenware can become part of something lasting and beautiful. The juxtaposition of reflective metal against soft blossoms and soil creates a dynamic contrast that both protects and elevates the flower bed. Constructing this border is as simple as gathering old or unused baking molds, cleaning them thoroughly, and placing them upside down into a shallow trench around the garden bed. Nestling them closely together adds strength and prevents soil from spilling over. The rounded tops act like small domes, offering visual cohesion and a unique tactile quality to the edge. This method is perfect for gardeners with a passion for upcycling or anyone looking to personalize their landscape with a whimsical, vintage touch. It's also a great way to reuse items that may no longer serve their original purpose. With every shiny mold gleaming in the garden sun, this border transforms yesterday's bakeware into today's botanical showcase, where pansies bloom not in trays, but alongside them. It's a delightful celebration of reuse, creativity, and the unexpected charm of kitchen memories. Ten. Painted cans flower border. Bursting with playful color and upcycled charm, this garden border transforms old kitchen cans into a bold and cheerful frame for blooming lantana flowers. Arranged in alternating hues of red, yellow, and green, each can has been cleaned, painted, and placed side by side on its side to form a continuous circular edge. The cylindrical shape naturally locks the soil in place, while providing a vibrant visual contrast against the lush greenery and golden orange blossoms at the center. Once used to store soup, beans, or sauces, these metal cans are now reborn as garden decor, an excellent example of how everyday waste can become whimsical landscaping material. Their sturdy construction makes them weather-resistant, while the addition of colorful paint protects the surface from rust and adds decorative appeal. The repetition of shape and color creates a rhythmic border that draws the eye and gives the garden a polished, organized look. Creating this border is simple and highly customizable. Start by collecting used food cans of the same size, remove labels and sharp edges, and apply a few coats of weather-resistant paint in your favorite palette. Let them dry thoroughly before pressing them firmly into the soil along the desired edge. The result is a sturdy and striking boundary that's perfect for circular beds, themed gardens, or playful backyard spaces. Ideal for gardeners who appreciate sustainable creativity, this DIY idea adds not only structure but also personality to the landscape. It's a joyful reminder that beauty doesn't always require new materials. Just a splash of paint, a little imagination, and the willingness to reimagine the potential of kitchen cast-offs. Let your flowers bloom inside a frame as colorful as their petals. (11) Fork-tied stone garden border. A stunning blend of rustic charm and recycled creativity. This garden border uses old metal forks and rough-cut stones to frame a vibrant patch of snapdragons in a perfectly circular display. The stones, stacked in natural tones of gray and beige, provide solid structure and texture, while the forks, once everyday kitchen tools, now serve as artistic clamps, anchoring the layers together with their prongs embedded upright in the soil. Aged to a weathered patina, the forks add a touch of antique character and a clever nod to the concept of garden utensils. Spaced at even intervals, each fork is bent slightly to grip the stones, held in place by a flat iron strip running between the layers, suggesting a method both functional and decorative. The visual contrast between the rigid geometry of the forks and the organic irregularity of the stones creates a visually compelling and sturdy border. This upcycled approach proves that kitchen cast-offs can become elegant landscaping elements. The process is simple. Select flat stones or bricks, stack them with a stabilizing strip in between, and use old cutlery, preferably rusted or aged, for a cohesive look. Push each fork deeply into the ground, allowing the tines to act like garden staples, locking the structure in place. Beyond the aesthetic, this method celebrates sustainability and storytelling. Every fork likely stirred meals and memories. Now, they surround a garden full of new life, ideal for raised beds, herb gardens, or flower islands. This design is as practical as it is poetic. It redefines what a garden border can be: beautiful, sturdy, and deeply personal, made from the familiar forms of the home reimagined under open skies. (12) Spoon-framed flower pathway. A stunning stretch of vibrant orange and yellow nasturtiums bursts to life along a garden path framed by a truly unexpected material: metal spoons. This ingenious DIY garden border reuses old, mismatched, or tarnished kitchen spoons to create a visually uniform and creatively elegant edge that defines the flower bed with both functionality and flair. Each spoon is inserted handle first into the soil, standing upright in a continuous, tightly packed line. Their polished curves catch the sunlight, casting subtle reflections across the surrounding greenery and blossoms. This method not only creates a clear and tidy separation between lawn and bed, but also adds a whimsical and artistic touch to the landscape. The repetition of shape and color provides a sense of rhythm and harmony, guiding the eye naturally along the garden's contours. Building this border is as simple as collecting unused metal spoons, preferably of similar size for consistency, and pressing them into a shallow trench around the desired garden outline. The sturdy construction of spoons makes them surprisingly effective for edging, while their shiny or weathered finishes add personality and rustic charm. Ideal for flower beds, herb plots, or decorative garden sections, this spoon border turns forgotten cutlery into conversation-starting garden features. It's a delightful example of how kitchen items, often overlooked or discarded, can be transformed into lasting outdoor accents. Whether used in symmetrical paths or winding patterns, the result is a captivating combination of culinary nostalgia and natural beauty. Proof that with a little imagination, even a humble spoon can become a gardener's design tool. 13. Tin lid flower circle. Radiating rustic charm and upcycled brilliance, this circular garden bed showcases a clever border made entirely from repurposed tin can lids. Neatly aligned on their sides, the silver-toned lids form a scalloped edge that winds around each layer of this tiered floral display. Their industrial texture contrasts beautifully with the softness of the garden's golden yellow blossoms, daisies and sunflowers, that bloom vibrantly from within. The layered border adds dimension and structure to the flower bed, giving it a raised, sculpted appearance. Using lids of various sizes creates visual variety, while the uniform metallic finish unites the overall design. Each lid is securely buried halfway into the soil to ensure stability, forming a cohesive barrier that contains both soil and plants with understated elegance. This eco-friendly border solution is an excellent example of how kitchen waste can be given a second life. Instead of tossing away tin can lids, they are transformed into durable, weather-resistant materials that protect and decorate the garden. To recreate this effect, simply collect lids from used canned goods, file down any sharp edges for safety, and arrange them upright in a shallow trench around the planting area. Press firmly into the soil and backfill to secure them in place. Perfect for circular or multi-tiered beds, this technique adds both function and flair to a garden. It's a wonderful way to incorporate sustainability into your landscape while celebrating handmade, homemade creativity. The result is a charming flower ring, bright, bold, and bordered by the simplest of kitchen relics, now reborn as the guardians of growth and color. It's not just a garden border. It's a story of transformation through thoughtful reuse. (14) Origami foil garden border. Sleek, geometric, and brilliantly reflective, this DIY garden border is a creative reuse of kitchen aluminum packaging, likely from coffee, snack, or baking ingredient pouches, folded into a precise zigzag pattern resembling metallic origami. Shaped into sharp peaks and valleys, the mirrored border wraps neatly around a bed of delicate white and lavender alyssum, creating a visually dynamic contrast between the crisp metallic edge and the soft clusters of tiny blossoms within. The design plays with light and shadow as the sun hits the shiny surface, making the garden bed sparkle like a modern art installation. The repeated triangular forms give it a structured elegance that feels both contemporary and playful. Despite its polished appearance, this border is surprisingly simple to create and makes use of a material that would otherwise be discarded. To replicate this eye-catching effect, collect cleaned foil pouches or bags commonly found in kitchen packaging. Cut them open and fold each into accordion pleats, then shape the top edges into pointed triangles. Once folded, join them into a strip and secure into a ring around the flower bed using soil pressure or small landscape pins. The result is a lightweight but effective border that holds soil in place and resists moisture. This method is ideal for patio planters, small flower rings, or accent beds. Not only does it add a unique, futuristic touch to the garden, but it also promotes sustainability by reusing hard-to-recycle kitchen waste in a purposeful way. It proves that with a little folding and imagination, even the most disposable packaging can be elevated into an eye-catching garden feature, one that reflects both style and environmental thoughtfulness. 15. Mosaic crockery garden wall. Bursts of pink, violet, and white verbena spill over a colorful garden border crafted from broken and discarded kitchen ceramics. This vibrant DIY garden wall transforms fractured teacups, saucers, plates, and tiles into a mosaic masterpiece that frames a raised flower bed like a piece of outdoor art. Every shard, once part of a cherished kitchen memory, now lives on in a lively collage of pattern, texture, and color. The broken crockery pieces are set into mortar and arranged in whimsical patterns. Their varied motifs, florals, geometrics, and folk illustrations, lending the garden an eclectic and storybook charm. From bold blue and yellow glazes to delicate porcelain fragments, each section of the wall feels uniquely curated and visually captivating. To replicate this design, gather old or broken kitchenware, particularly ceramic dishes and tiles with interesting patterns. Break them carefully into smaller shards, then attach them to a concrete or brick wall frame using tile adhesive or mortar. Once in place, fill the gaps with grout to seal and unify the design. The final result is durable, weather-resistant, and irresistibly artistic. This technique not only repurposes unusable crockery, but also offers a sentimental opportunity to preserve beloved kitchenware in a new context. Ideal for those who appreciate mosaic art, cottage gardens, or personalized landscaping, this project brings life to both garden and memory. It's a joyful intersection of sustainability and creativity, where every flower blooms against a backdrop of everyday beauty reimagined. This border is not just a frame for plants, but a celebration of home, history, and hands-on ingenuity. 16. Vintage Bakeware flower wall. With a charming nod to kitchens of the past, this garden border is crafted entirely from upcycled vintage pudding and jelly molds. Carefully stacked and arranged like bricks, these fluted metal forms create a tiered garden wall that is as sculptural as it is functional. The result is a raised bed bursting with vibrant orange calendula, which spills gracefully over the edge, softening the metallic forms with a cascade of natural color. The bakeware, once used for holiday treats and heirloom recipes, now serves as a sturdy and stylish garden feature. Each mold fits neatly atop the other, their ridged patterns adding texture and depth to the border. Their weathered patina and rounded forms lend an antique, almost storybook quality to the scene, perfect for a cottage garden or whimsical outdoor space. Creating this look is surprisingly straightforward. Begin by collecting old baking molds. Metal ones work best for durability and cohesion. Position them upside down and side by side along the garden perimeter, stacking them in offset rows like masonry blocks. For added support, you can anchor the base with gravel or a low frame, depending on the garden bed's height and slope. This approach not only recycles unused kitchenware, but also transforms it into a functional garden solution with unique visual appeal. It's a creative way to celebrate heritage, reduce waste, and add handcrafted elegance to your outdoor space. Whether overflowing with calendula, herbs, or trailing blooms, this border reimagines baking tools as the perfect vessels to nurture and display the beauty of nature. Baking joy, this time under the open sky. 17. Colorful plate garden border. Bright and full of personality, This cheerful garden border turns an assortment of old kitchen plates into a vibrant frame for a blooming bed of zinnias. Arranged vertically with edges set into the soil, the plates form a playful, mosaic-like perimeter around the flowers, celebrating a medley of color, pattern, and texture. Each plate, whether floral, solid, vintage, or modern, adds its own charm to the cohesive patchwork that wraps the garden bed. The variety in design is what makes this border so captivating. From rich blues and sunny yellows to delicate rose patterns and retro motifs, the collection of plates feels both curated and spontaneous, like a gallery of forgotten tableware now reclaimed as art. The result is a functional and visually delightful enclosure that keeps the soil neat while inviting admiration from every angle. To recreate this border, gather in used or second-hand dinner plates. Dig a shallow trench around your flower bed and place the plates upright, pressing them firmly into the ground so they stand securely side by side. For extra stability, consider backing them with a low wooden or metal edge inside the soil. This project is ideal for garden lovers who enjoy adding a bit of whimsy and personal history to their outdoor spaces. Instead of letting chipped or mismatched plates gather dust, this technique gives them new purpose while promoting sustainable reuse. It's a celebration of everyday beauty and kitchen nostalgia, reframed in a setting where flowers bloom and dinnerware shines. Not on the table, but in the soil, cradling nature's most colorful expressions. 18. Woven basket garden edge. This enchanting garden bed is framed with the rustic elegance of a woven basket border, an ingenious reuse of old wicker trays and wooden kitchenware. With their natural curves and interlocking strands, these materials form a rich, textured enclosure that cradles a flourishing display of vibrant blooms. The contrast between the earthy browns of the woven structure and the brilliant reds, purples, whites, and pinks of the flowers creates a visually warm and inviting garden feature. Built like an oversized picnic basket, the border blends form with function. It holds soil securely while giving the entire garden bed a handcrafted charm. The weave pattern, made from twisted wooden strips and circular bamboo bases, is reminiscent of old kitchen steamer baskets, bread trays, and rustic food carriers. Tightly woven and wrapped with care, the result is a structure strong enough to hold raised beds, yet beautiful enough to stand as a statement piece in the landscape. To replicate this natural border, collect discarded bamboo trays, wicker plates, or worn-out rattan placemats. Disassemble them as needed and weave the strands around upright wooden stakes planted along the bed's outline. Reinforce the top with circular rims for a polished, basket-like finish. This project celebrates the organic beauty of natural materials and honors kitchen items that have served meals and moments over time. Now, in a new life outdoors, they serve a different kind of nourishment, cradling blossoms and greenery with the same humble grace. It's a perfect example of sustainable design, functional, artistic, and infused with the warmth of home. Whether surrounding herbs, flowers, or vegetables, this basket-style garden border offers a timeless touch of tradition reimagined. Who would have thought that something as simple as a coffee mug, a cheese grater, or a cookie tin could frame a flower's rise to the sun? Now you've seen what's possible when creativity meets compassion. When instead of throwing things away, we invite them to stay and bloom with us. Each garden border we explored today wasn't just clever, it was soulful. It was an act of rescue, of remembering, of giving beauty to something that once had only utility. Maybe now you're thinking twice before tossing that dented pan or that mismatched plate. Maybe you're beginning to imagine what stories your own backyard could tell. If only you listened with your hands and crafted with your heart. Because this isn't just about gardening. It's about honoring the life in everything. It's about rethinking waste, revaluing the forgotten, and recognizing that beauty often lives in the broken, the used, and the worn. So go open that dusty kitchen drawer, peek into that cabinet of old tins and dishes, and ask yourself, what can I grow from this? We hope this inspired you not only to create but to see the garden not as a space to fill, but as a canvas for your memories, your joy, your resourcefulness. Thank you for joining us on this colorful, curious, and creative journey. Don't just plant flowers, plant stories. And remember, in the right hands, even a spoon can bloom.